Hey everybody, this is Brett, and right now I'm talking to a viewer that has experienced a lot of pain and then finally found my videos and things started to turn around for him, and he's going to tell you his story on the speakerphone. Okay, man, give it all you got.
All right. Well, thank you, Brett, for having me. Excited to receive your call here.
And talk right into the speaker or into the mic.
Okay. So, I, my career requires a lot of me physically. I do a lot of mechanical work.
Can you talk a little bit louder?
Yeah. Can you hear me better?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. So my career requires a lot of really fit. Physically, I've worked on a lot of different things from automobiles to heavy equipment, trucks, and different things like that. And in the process of working, the years go by. I'm working underneath of big trucks and buses and different things like this that running hoses and wires and different things like this. And I began to a couple of years ago. I began to experience a little bit of pain on the side of my neck. Thinking, well, it's not a big deal, it'll go away. And rapidly it began to just unfold in such a way where my left side of my shoulder would begin to hurt in my neck. It began to feel like piercing pain, like just blades were going into my muscles and bones. And I had no clue of what was going on, and then the pain would move on me. It would move from the left to the right shoulder, and sometimes the middle of the back, and then up my neck, and it would just be awful trying to drive and working these awkward positions, and I would notice that I'd try to go to sleep, and I'd lay on my back, and all of a sudden, if I tilt my head just a little to the left, my arm would go completely numb and tingly all the way to my fingertips, and different fingers would begin to feel a different way. So I'd move my head a little bit to the right, and the same thing would happen on my right side. And these burning sensations on my arms and my neck, and I would just, if I were to lay on my side like a baby, kind of like fetal, not a fetal position, but if I put my weight on my left side of my body, where my weight would be on my shoulder, then my shoulder would just hurt really bad, and I'd do the same on the right side, and it was just a mess. And the kind of work that I do, I was afraid to say anything, because I knew that I had to find a different type of line of work, and to do that, you go through physicals, and you go through this, that, and the other, and medical histories, and I was just afraid, and with that, I just, maybe if I go to the chiropractor, or if I, do this on my own,
And you weren't able to sleep, right?
No, I wasn't, because what was happening, like I just explained, so that went on for a good solid 2.5, 3 months before I decided to try and get any help, because it wasn't going away. I would try, on my own, not knowing anything, ibuprofen, hot baths, and stretching, and try to kind of loosen up the arms and everything in the morning. And what happened was, because of lack of sleep, 2.5, 3 months of not being able to sleep, I got to the point where I began to feel depressed. I began to feel scared and just emotionally just, what could happen when you don't sleep? What happens when you don't sleep? You're just a wreck. You're a mess.
Yeah.
So I went to, I decided to kind of do things on my own. I went to this chiropractor, and he couldn't quite help me out very much. And I went to this other guy, and he had me going. He diagnosed me with, he put things on papers, big old long words. I put papers, after all, at the end of it all, I threw those papers away because of anger. I just burned them. long words, radial something or another, and
Yeah.
man, I mean, he has big old long names for these.
Yeah, the lingo is incredible, isn't it?
It sounds expensive.
It is. That's part of.
Words right there. I'm like, oh my god.
That's part of it. The longer those words get, the more expensive the procedures are to be able to treat them.
And exactly. Radial son. He said, you know, what's happening here is that your spine is twisted in such a way from the top to the bottom, and not only that, it's kind of bent over, and then your neck. I'm like, well, maybe there's some. I know there's got to be some truth to that, but so he had me going to him 2 or 3 times a week, every other day, and for about another 2.5, 3 months.
Yeah.
Because he said, oh, well, it was more than that, I would say, because he would say, well, you know, you got this, you know, I can set your spine. It takes anywhere from 8 to 12 weeks for, you know, your body to reset and, you know, your ligaments and this and that and the other to, you know, strengthen up the way it's supposed to be. And so, I mean, I'm like, man, so a month goes by, and mind you, this is costing me money.
Yeah, so would you say now in a nutshell that you think that the chiropractic industry is a racket?
I'm going to tell you, this guy just took my money and didn't do a thing for me. I know that maybe sometimes you happen to fall and somebody's got to be able to push bone into place kind of like that, but in my condition, what went on with me, it was not that. See, what happened, Brett, as $100 and something a month, you do the math, I ended up giving this guy over $1,200, about $300, and I was in no better condition when I decided to tell him I'm not coming back than in the beginning. Because, again, 8 to 12 weeks, the months were going by, and I see the same people in the waiting room, the same people.
Yeah.
The months go by, I'm like, well, what in the world happened to these guys? And everybody's smiling, and everybody's talking about stories, and I'm over here hurting. This guy was saying, oh, yeah, well, what happened with me is that he said that I had this injury when I was 14 years old. I was a 60-year-old man. I had this injury when I was 14 years old, and it finally caught up to me, and this, that, and the other. But anyway, I digress. What happened here, I'm going, and as the months are going by, I'm like, doctor, I still feel it here, and now it's over here, and everything I described to you, Brett, I was describing and following up with him throughout the month. And I told him, you know, what if this is just a crazy idea, Doc, what if I try massage? No. No, you can't do that. I was like, okay, well, I'm feeling
Speak really clearly, brother.
Yeah, he was telling me, you know, what if I try massage? And he said, no, you can't do that. I go, well, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, why not? I mean, I must be asking something wrong, because he was really upset when he said no. Like, I'm thinking to myself, am I going to damage? Is there something that he sees that, you know, I'm going to mess up? And I finally told him, you know what? I started watching YouTube and different things like that. I come across your channels, and the way you're explaining about, you know, getting into those muscles, and sometimes the muscles, they begin to knot up, and how they begin to pull on your vertebrae, and
tendons,
and it gets swollen, and how you begin to explain some things, and I'm like, oh, that's what I'm feeling right there, and that's what's happening with me. And I went and got that Theracane and that roller, and I began to work on myself, and I told him, hey, after listening to you, I began to do some digging with my fingers around my muscles in my neck and my shoulders, and right here I began to feel where the shoulder begins to meet the neck. I begin to feel like a big old ball on my muscle, like the size of a walnut. And I'm just... Did
you put oil? Did you use...
I did use, you know, some lotion and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know, you know, what kind of oils to get or whatever, but I had some little coconut butter.
Okay, hang on a sec. We're just about to hit 10 minutes, and I got to restart the video, okay? Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, so Go ahead and continue. You were using some creams.
Yeah, that what you call it? It was like the coconut or cocoa butter or something like that.
Okay.
And I'm just kind of like, hey, as a matter of fact, I was driving to work one day when I began to just feeling that pain. I just grabbed my shoulder and I began to rub a little bit, and I noticed that after about 20 minutes of that, I'm like, hey, this kind of is relieving. Something's happening here. There's something going on there. And I remember going to that chiropractor and telling him, feel it. It's right here. You don't feel that big old lump, that big old ball? And he was like, I don't feel anything. Really? It was like the size of a walnut. And so I said, you know what? I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. I'm going to pursue this. And about 2 months, well, I would say another few months of just self-massage and everything. Hey, you know what? I'm back to normal. I mean, there's no pain whatsoever. There's nothing, no pain.
Okay, and you haven't even done a consultation with me, and I kind of doubt that you have very many of my products. If we were to step this up about 3 notches, you'd be feeling a lot better than you do now.
I'm going to tell you, Brett, as a matter of fact, like I told you earlier, I was like, I'm sorry, Brett, for not making much sense. I just woke up from a heavy nap. I mean, I've been asleep for about 2-3 hours just napping, and I'm just like, I have no pain whatsoever. Everything is just, I mean, I'm just fantastic, enjoying life, enjoying my family.
You got a girlfriend. You got a girlfriend, eh?
No, I'm married.
You got a wife.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get her stepping on you too, and you can step on her as well.
Lately, I've been watching your videos about that with somebody holding on to a couple of wooden rocks or something up on top, and they begin a massage with their feet and everything like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, well, we could just.
Long story short, Brett. Long story short, I know that sometimes people do things, and sometimes people go through a lot of effort trying to help other people, and I don't know how often you hear a thank you. And that's why I decided to call and leave a message to tell you, you know what, Brett, thank you, because you know what, with the help of the Lord and you, the help of the Lord and you were the ones that brought my body back where it's supposed to be, because doctors wouldn't want to. I didn't go to a doctor, but chiropractors, I'm telling you, you drive up with your little beater and you park next to their Porsches, park next to their Audis and everything like this, and I'm telling you, all I was doing was making their car payment or something. And I told that guy, I said, you know, I need a chance to heal. I wanna heal and get back, you know, to what I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to be feeling. He goes, no. What do you mean heal? You're done. I go, what do you mean done? He said, there's so little something going on, you're going to have to come to me for the rest of your life. That's what he said. He goes, right there, that pain you're feeling, that's what you're going to feel forever, and I'm going to have to continue to adjust you to where you're just right there, not any worse. I go, you're just adjusting my wallet, man. I mean, that's all you're doing.
I wonder if it's possible to take to take this guy to small claims court
I'm just, you know, Brett, I'm happy that episode, that chapter is over.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, with the help of the Lord and you, I'm able to sleep well. I've been on a different diet, just eating different, and I'm enjoying my career. I got a different job now that demands less of me physically, but I'm still providing for my family. I'm loving what I'm doing. I love my job. I love my career.
Good.
I love my family. I'm able to participate in different things that I haven't done so in a long, long time. I mean, and I've been pain-free now for about a year and a half.
Nice.
About a year and a half, and every once in a while, if I get a little something, and I tell people, you've got to check this out. You've got to, you know, and some listen, some don't. I don't know. That's not my business. But I know what the massage and self-healing and really the way the bones and nerves, the tendons, the ligaments, the muscles have to all work together, different things like this. You can have a You can have a muscle that's contracting, that's freaking out, and begin to pull on your vertebrae, and then your muscles on the other side try to compensate. Now your spine is beginning, the tendons, the ligaments are beginning to feel a little, out of place, and you got pain all over the place. There's bird pain and different things like this. So Brett, you got to excuse me if I'm not making much sense or not speaking as clear.
No, it's fine, man. It's fine, man.
I'm excited to talk to you, Brett. I'm blown out of the water, man.
Hey, I just I want to thank you so very much for calling me. I want you to keep something in mind, though, that the massage part of this, if you watch my channel, you should know that that's just a small part of it. I mean, it's a significant part of it, but there are so many things that are really important for good health, and that's why we call it holistic health. And so before you got on here, and I'm not getting down on you or anything, but before you got on here, you called to your wife and asked her to get you a soda.
Yeah, you're right.
Not good, brother. Not good. Soda, that's gonna kill your ass eventually. So keep watching my videos, and if that's where you're at, that's where you're at. But there's always work to do and that's not just in regards to diet or you. It's in regards to me and God knows how many things. Natural healing is a never-ending journey.
Amen. Hey, let me tell you what I'm doing.
What
I've been doing in the mornings is, as far as the diet is concerned, I don't eat candy. I'm not into a lot of sugar. My birthday was a little while back ago, so we have these sodas and stuff left. But what I like to do, what I've been doing lately, is in the morning drinking some. I don't know if it's this is what I'm thinking. So that's what I do. I drink some carrot juice with an egg, and then I do the oatmeal, and around noon, and then in the evening I'll have some tuna salad, chicken salad. But I'll go to sleep. Before I go to sleep, I have myself I get my blender and I put that cilantro, cucumber, lemon, ginger, aloe vera.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I'll give you some real basic pointers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so organic is very good. You don't always have to have organic, but for me, I stick with 90% organic, especially for specific foods. And if you look up on the internet, like something like most important organic foods, to figure out which ones are most adulterated with pesticides and which ones are less adulterated with pesticides, like fruits, you want to eat those organic as much as possible.
Okay.
So organic is important. I know it's more expensive, but if you can swing it, then definitely, because non-organic produce is grown with synthetic fertilizers and synthetic pest and toxic pesticides.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff really suppresses your body's ability, your immune system's ability to fight off bugs, bacteria, and viruses and stuff.
Wow.
And to be able...
I'm going to look more into that, and but I'm going to tell you, it's just you got to get on that track. You got to get on that way of lifestyle, dieting and eating, and everything like that.
Yeah, it is a lifestyle.
I remember pizzas and hamburgers and fried chicken, and it's like, after a while, that stuff takes a toll on you.
Yeah. Especially meat, too, organic, because, I mean, a non-organic chicken is just the most unhealthy thing, man. Especially like Tyson chicken. Those things are grown in cages. You're eating something that's like an animal that was not a happy animal, not a healthy animal. Just really, really not well treated.
And being fed, these hormones, right, and things like that.
Yeah, and all of that energy, in a nutshell, and keeping it simple, in all that bad energy is passed on directly into your body.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on, we got to start a new video. Okay, so So whole foods is the second thing. Organic's the first thing. Whole foods, eating only foods in their whole form is the next thing. And
Okay.
then the next thing would be to get rid of wheat and dairy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dairy altogether, huh?
Completely. In my opinion, those foods are just they're clogging on your digestive system, and they're clogging on your body, and they're preventing you from absorbing nutrients, and they're clogging all kinds of different parts in your body, like joints, like the casein in the dairy clogs your ligaments and your joints, and it gives kids ear infections, and it just causes all kinds of arterial sclerosis problems. And the gluten in the wheat gums up your digestive system really bad, and so you can't absorb nutrients in your digestive system as good. So those two foods cause more problems for people, and allergy problems too, than anything else. So if you can get rid of glutinous grains, which includes wheat, barley, and rye, and
Wow.
some people can do oats, but I think personally, for me anyway, oats aren't good. So what I eat is quinoa, millet, amaranth. Sometimes I eat buckwheat. When you're first starting out on getting rid of wheat and dairy, people will eat a lot of brown rice.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll eat that for a long time. They'll eat brown rice bread and pasta.
I'm gonna have to continue to check out your videos for that side of the holistic healing, because I could definitely use a lot of work on the type of diet that I should be having. Although I have improved, I would say, compared to the garbage I was eating. You know what I mean? But I can, I just cut back and do different things as I go. But I mean, if I want to go further, I'm gonna have to look at your videos and begin to take notes on all this stuff that you recommend, and just begin to go after it, because
basically what you want to avoid is getting yourself into a hole like you did with your body getting all sore.
Mm-hmm.
So if you get ahead of the game in regards to the other things, the diet, the spirituality, maybe the calming of the mind, there's a lot of different things. I mean, I could go on, and I don't want to blow you away too much, okay?
Uh-huh.
Because I've probably already thrown enough on your plate for one night.
Got enough to chew on.
Yeah, there you go. So, so with diet, organic, eat whole foods, and get rid of wheat and dairy. And if you can do those things right there, that will radically improve. And the way that you get rid of wheat and dairy is to find adequate substitutes. And adequate substitutes for dairy are rice milk and almond milk, all those kind of pseudo milks.
What about soy milk? What do you think about soy milk? I like to buy almond
Another food that I do really bad on, and that a lot of people are allergic to and don't do well on, is soy.
Yeah?
That's kind of you'll have to try that for yourself and see how you do with soy.
Because I have tried the soy milk. The soy milk, sometimes I'll go to the market and I'll get, soy milk or almond milk. Unsweetened almond milk. Nothing, because, they doctor those things up too sometimes. And
yes, you have to, that's kind of another basic rule, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's really, really important to always look at labels, even at the health food store.
Mm-hmm.
Because you never know what they're going to slip in on the food.
Yeah, so. But almond milk, I prefer almond milk over soy milk myself. It's just, I began to look at the vitamins and different things, proteins and whatnots in the back, and for some reason I prefer almond milk.
Yeah. You live in California, and
Yes, sir.
One factoid for you is that 85% of the world's almonds are grown in California because the weather it's one of the only places that has that.
Yeah, we have almonds, pistachios, walnuts, pecans.
Yeah.
We've got citrus galore, olives, avocados.
Right.
I mean, we have so much.
California grows it all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man.
Appreciate everything you've done.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
What decided to do, because it takes a lot for somebody to say and stand up and say, no, this is the way your body's made, and this is the way it's been put together, and this is how we need to take care of this temple that we live in.
Yeah.
And you and others, but mostly you, have gotten my attention and have been a big part of my healing. And man, I just one day at work, I was like, you know what? It's nice to say thank you to somebody, or it's nice to hear thank you from somebody.
I so appreciate it.
I'm going to give this gentleman a call and just let him know that he radically just changed my outlook on some things, and I'm showing other people as well. Look at this guy. This is what you got to do, because he's explaining everything that's going on with you and happened to me. And
don't expect them all. Don't expect them to jump on board.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you for what you've done for me. So.
Yeah, have you squatted yet?
Oh.
Are you squatting?
No, I'm not.
Try that. You got to do that. There's so many things, man. I'm telling you, squatting.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't believe that I'm doing everything that I ought to be, but I know that I'm doing a whole lot more than I used to do.
Yeah.
And I see results. And you're right. We shouldn't stop with just, oh wow, I got rid of that problem. There's a lifestyle that you have to live so that you can be around to enjoy your family. Because we're being fed. I mean, I'm preaching to the preacher. I mean, you totally. I totally understand. What's out there and how it's all about pushing product and the way they're growing these animals, and even like you said, vegetables and things like that. All the pesticides and chemicals that they put, fertilizers and man-made chemicals
made out of petroleum products.
Yeah, bigger and faster, but they're not necessarily better. So. Yeah. But
for me, it was a real strange, the more I learned, and I needed to learn a lot because my health was so bad that I just started digging. And the more I learned about all this stuff, the more it blew my mind to think that nobody else was, not very many people were squatting. Very many people had just decided to get up and move to the country because they realized that the air quality was really, really important. I mean, people just don't talk about that, and the reasons for these things are because, in all honesty, it's not easy to change. It's just not easy to change, because you have to start maybe thinking about a new career, or all kinds of things, or people are going to think I'm crazy. Will my mom and dad disown me? And so I had to just. A lot
of things that have to line up sometimes that you have to make happen and decide to do.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I don't live in a big city. We're just out here normal.
Nice.
Out here, we're out here in the agricultural part of California. The valley.
Okay. All right. Well, hey man, we're almost to the end of the third 10-minute segment here, and so let's wrap it up.
Time up, man.
I appreciate you.
Thank you for all that you've done, Brett.
You're welcome.
Okay.
All right, man, and I do free, by donation consultations. I wouldn't say they're free, but because I do appreciate a donation on Sundays. And so if you want to talk about anything, just let me know.
Okay, well, no, just thought I'd give you a call. I thought I'd say thank you.
You're welcome,
Thanks,
man.
because, I mean, thank you for the time that you give in making these videos to educate people and you know, telling it like it is sometimes. You know, well, not sometimes, but, you know, we need to hear some of this stuff. So.
Yeah, you know, the truth is not, it's not easy, but I refused. Dude, I just have always flat out freaking refused to tell people anything other than the truth, even though I knew that for the most part a lot of them weren't ready for it.
You know, and I understand that you've gone through some trials and everything like that, you know, losing your license and all this. Don't mean to bring that up in such a way, but that's a sacrifice that you've done. But
yeah, I couldn't
made a difference in a lot of lives, I'm sure.
I couldn't really stay a state licensed massage therapist and do what I do, because I was always thinking to myself, yeah, I was like restricted, you know. I was like, well, if I make a video about this or that, will they be annoyed? Will I get a call from the North Carolina Massage Board about if I say this or that, you know? So it was always just playing on me, and so it was good to get rid of them, to get rid of that license, to lose it, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
But
well, Brett, you have a fantastic rest of your afternoon, and thank you for you know, for everything, Brett. I'm gonna.
You're welcome.
Keep going, and just thought, man, this is just a fantastic opportunity to share with you. I mean, the results of their videos.
Thanks, man. Well, have a great night.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. You keep doing what you're doing, and I will continue to add to, you know, the way I eat and exercise and different things like this.
Nice. Then you won't get in trouble again.
There you go.
All right, man. So there you go. Man, am I blessed, I'm telling you. And, you know, I don't get calls like that all the time, but I get emails, and it's just very gratifying. It's so gratifying. And I want to say that I appreciate y'all and the comments, and yeah, I'm absolutely going to keep doing this. What more could I do?